Welcome back, guys. I'm your host, Keyblade Kyrie 2010. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about one of my props that I just recently got in. I got it actually like 3 weeks ago, and I've just been babying the hell out of it. And today was my first time actually practicing with it. As you can see, I moved my table over in the corner here, so I have more room and whatnot to actually practice. I was a bit skeptical when I first was looking for the specific staff. Either the top of it was too small, or it wasn't the right length, and I came across these people on Amazon, and I looked at it and I was all like, okay, there's no reviews on this thing, I can't read any of the reviews. I was like, it was only $96, and I was like, okay, you know, let's take a chance and see just how good this is, because you know, I'm always skeptical about the pictures that they post nowadays, because when I was fooled with the organization jacket, like, I seriously thought the organization jacket was going to be awesome, you know, but no, it turned out, I mean, it's a decent jacket, it's nice, but it's not exactly what I was hoping for. So, but I gave it a risk, and then when I went to purchase it, it cost shipping. So in total, I spent $164 on this staff. This is the most expensive item that I've ever had to buy for cosplay, ever. Again, I wanted to make this prop, but with how things have been going and me getting sick as a dog as of late, you can hear it in my throat, and me sniffling so much too. I just decided, I was all like, you know, I really don't want to put it off. Let's buy it. If I have time, I'll put this one up, and I'll use it as a backup in case I can't make it. Well, as of late, I've just been really down in the dump and just wanting to get the heck out of the house, which tomorrow there's a convention thing that's going on with SodakCon, and I think I'm going to bring out Yuna just for the hell of it. I'm tired of being stuck in the house all day, so I try and get out when I can, as much as I can, and the cold weather hasn't helped, especially it's gotten me sick, so, but whatever. I will show you how this prop looks and whatnot. I'm not going to actually put on the costume entirely, but I will do maybe a new photo shoot with the staff when it gets a little bit more warmer out, because it's like still cold, even though like a couple weeks ago it was like 60 degrees outside, and then it just snowed as of like 2 days ago and has now dropped back down into the cold. It's Rapid City for you. So alright, so here is the head of the head of it, and as you can see, there's a little bit of blue here, a little bit of blue here and here. This is wood. It is actually very thick. I believe these pieces are wood as well, or they're plastic, one of the two, the blue pieces, but I'm not sure. So there's that. This is 2 pieces. I'm not really going to pull it out because it was a pain in my ass to actually put in. So this is one piece right here, and this is another piece entirely for that. So, and of course, the staff is blue itself. Then we come down to the bottom, and it looks like this is pleather, or some sort of pleather itself, and then they wrapped around this red piece around it as well, and then they added the bell on the end of it for effect, which I was worried about the bell being too long, but actually I was really impressed with it. So let me back up just a wee bit for you. So that is what the Yuna staff looks like entirely, and yeah, I'm hoping to remake this model if I can, or at least make tops that I can change out, because in the series or in the game, the staff heads do change from time to time, but the staff stays the same. The colors change on the staff as well, but I would just leave it the normal color it is, and then just change the top of the head. So there's that for you guys. I thought I would talk about a bit of my prop and the most recent expensive purchase ever in my cosplay life, which I'm sure down the road or whatever, there will be a cosplay costume that when I decide to make and whatnot, that it's even more expensive than this staff. But for right now, this is the most expensive thing that I own right now as a cosplayer. Everything else was like 60. I mean, the highest anything has gone for me is like $100. $100 tops, and that was with everything in total. That was actually, it was Girl Sutcliffe's that cost me the most, and even then, that was everything put together. That was the wig, that was the wig and the glasses, I should say, and then the costume itself. And I didn't end up buying the shoes because the shoes were outrageous, and I'm not buying shoes. If I'm going to buy anything, I'd rather buy a prop that I know I'm going to use over and over and over again with the costume, whereas the shoes can possibly wear down or not fit, because I've had people complain that the shoes don't fit either. So, no. I'd rather get something that's either a little too big. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I've been blowing my nose all afternoon. I even stayed home from work today because I was so sick. My fever has finally broke, so yay on that. But anyways, this is the most expensive object I've ever purchased. And I know there are going to be people that are going to comment on this video and really say, well, you're not a cosplayer if you buy your stuff. Actually, it's become more popular to mostly make your stuff, but then again, it's more 50-50. I'm pretty sure there is a handful of them. I mean, obviously you gotta buy the fabric. Obviously you gotta buy the sewing materials for the cosplay itself. So what's the difference between me buying my costumes and having it already done by somebody that knows what they're doing, compared to me who's still somewhat of a newbie sewer? And I'm a bit of perfectionist. I mean, obviously, because I looked everywhere for this darn staff and saw how ridiculous it was for a small staff head of how expensive it was, and I was like, no, I want the full-size staff head. If I'm gonna do this cosplay, that's how it's gonna be. Anywho, it's the same thing. The only difference is that person can make the costumes, whereas I have a little bit more hard time making a costume. I mean, I did make Elsa's dress. I did love the fact that it was my first costume ever. Yeah, I was disappointed that it didn't win, but because it was my baby and it was my first one. Out of all the costumes that I was rooting for to win, Aqua was the very first Elsa was the very first costume I absolutely wanted to win. Why? Because I personally made it. Now, all these other costumes that I've done, like Aqua, which, again, I was shocked that I even won, I just wanted to get up and perform and show what I was capable of. That's why I did, that's why I was, like, so adamant about making sure that Elsa was perfect, because I wanted her to win. But all my other costumes, I didn't really care if they won because I didn't make them. I do see how everybody thinks nowadays, or how cosplayers are and whatnot, where they're all like, please don't touch my costume, this might break, blah, 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 you know, because I've heard of that. Or I've heard of, you know, how hard they worked on it and whatnot. And so I was the exact same way when I made Elsa. I know exactly what it feels like now as a cosplayer who is trying to get professional eventually and stop buying products. But there's just sometimes where, you know, you either got it or you don't. And I'm one of those ones that I couldn't make something like this. someone would have had to have cut this out for me. Somebody would have had to draw it on a piece of wood for me and cut it out, because I don't trust myself with tools. But it's really whatever. I mean, you're a cosplayer whether you make it or not, and as long as you're enjoying it, there's really no rules to cosplaying. There's no law saying that you can't buy your cosplay stuff. If you're a fan of it and you want to show it off, why not? That's just like me wearing one of my favorite t-shirts and saying that I'm not a true fan. But again, to each their own. It's my opinion. Everybody's gonna have their opinions, and I'm ready for them. I'm totally ready for the people that are going to be all like, you didn't make that, blah, blah, blah. But I choose to do what I choose to do. And I mean, yeah, I like opinions if they're positive and they're not negative ones. I do like to get some decent feedback, not terrible feedback. And I do, want to improve my cosplay costumes. I'm not really contradicting myself as long as it's positive feedback of, hey, maybe you should try this would be better, I've tried this, it worked for me, maybe it could help for you, type deal, I just don't want to hear the negative crud, really, and I'm ready for it. But I thought I would talk about my staff a little bit, and I'm thinking of doing one on my Keyblade as well, to talk about that one, because I recently got this one in, and I've done props and cosplay stuff before, and I've done videos on them, but for people who do want to make this prop and whatnot, they know what it looks like, they know how big it is, they can, I'm pretty sure it looks really huge on my screen, but in reality it's not that big, to be honest. So but yeah, I was very impressed of the work that these people have done, and I'm definitely gonna give them 5 stars. I'll probably be the first to actually rate them, and I will probably be, I will definitely put a link in the description if you are interested in buying this staff. Yes, it's a little pricey, but it is so worth it. It's like, I took it out to the mall, and I actually spun it around, and of course I made sure that there was nobody behind me or near me when I was spinning it around. I had to feel how the weight is and whatnot. It's not really heavy. I mean, it does have some weight to it, but it's not like super extremely heavy. So, I mean, I could easily just twirl it around and not have too much of an issue with it. So, but I thought I would take it out and see what people thought, and I got a lot of compliments on the staff, and definitely a lot of compliments on my cosplay, a lot. So, except for one guy who I should actually do a story video on it because it made me laugh hysterically. But yeah, so I have been practicing for the past couple days with this prop to see how it moves and stuff. It does feel a little funny. It feels a little longer than the extension of my arms, but it's whatever. Alright guys, I'm your host, Keyblade Carrie 2010, and if you're interested in this prop or interested in it in any shape or form, there's a link in the description for you to go and purchase this amazing stuff from the amazing people that I bought it from. And don't let anybody cosplay shame you at all. I don't care anymore. I go out in public and do my own thing and show off my stuff, and if people look at me weird or funny or whatnot, then that's just how it is. It's like me feeling bad about that guy that commented on my stuff entirely, and I was like, I don't care, you think what you think, but I'm telling you that's not what it is. So yeah, to each their own, guys, and as always, I am your host, Keyblade Carry 2010. Game on gamers, cosplay on cosplayers, and I'll see you guys in the next episode, whatever. I'm so going to bed after the next video that I make, because I really want to make a video on the story that recently happened to me for cosplaying. So, alright guys, bye!